guys, welcome back to Draw Along Doodles with Walker. This week we're focusing on sweet treats. We've had our cream filled popsicle. Now it's time for a simple sundae. Now, if you want to add more to it, you want whipped cream or sprinkles or any of that, you absolutely can. We're just going to get you the basic shape so that you can be successful from there out. It is taller than it is wide, so we're going to start with our paper towel. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the basics of that glass. We're coming down and angling slightly in. And we're going to reverse that line on the other side so that it comes down and slightly in as well. Now, before we do anything fancy to the edge, we're just going to curve it, because even though this has a fluting that makes it flat as it goes around, it is following that basic principle of an open container. Now, from here, we're going to angle in. And we're going to let the bottom of that curve slightly. Now we're going to come down and down on the side of that curve. And then we are going to create a rainbow right here to make the top of a domed shape. And then we're going to curve that bottom to connect it. Okay. Now we're going to come from the dome and we're going to come out and down. Same over here. Out and down. Try to be even as you're going. We know that it's not perfect. One side may end up a little bit more heightened than the other, but you're just giving it your best shot. And remember, you can always erase. Now for this, I'm going to come and I'm going to finish out my curve just like I would with the bottom of a cylinder. In this case, you're working on the bottom of a dome. And then I'm going to come around once more from the back a little bit higher than the bottom of your dome. And I'm going to make a thin edge. Okay. Now, let's look at where our glass would be divided up top. We're going to do 3 bumps to separate the top part. I'm going to go ahead and give myself some little guidelines so it doesn't get too confusing. I'm going to have 1 bump here over the middle. Then it's going to bump up and have the height of its arch at the corner. This one's going to bump up and have the height of its arch at the corner. Okay, now let's give some thickness to that. So I'm going to come a little bit below. And then I'll let it come out. And I'll show the thickness as it rounds around. Let's do that same thing for the other side. There it comes, and I'll show the thickness as I round around. And then to help myself visualize it, I am going to get rid of those extra lines that I don't need anymore. Okay, so we've got that nice scalloped edge for ourselves. Now I'm going to show that fluting as it comes down. I come from the corner, and I'm going to stay mostly parallel. It's going to get a little bit closer to the side, but not a ton. Same for over here. I'm staying mostly parallel. As it gets toward the bottom, it may get a little bit closer. And then I'm going to imitate this shape right here as I come to close it off. Now, a lot of times when people have glass shapes, there's a little bubble inside. So we're going to come and put that little bubble down there. And then we're going to do some of the beveling that the glass has on it. So inside this shape, inside this area, I'm going to come and have a small line that arches down. Here I'm going to do a line inside the shape that arches over and down. And then one that's coming from not quite the top, but down the side and on one side of the bottom. Then I'll come over here and I'll add that bevel. Excellent. Only thing that's left is to put our ice cream in. So I'm just doing a real simple single scoop. You can always add to it, and you can make it have syrup, you can make it have fruit, anything that floats your boat. So I'm going to get a basic arch over it. And then when you roll up ice cream, there's that little foot on the end that really shows where it's rolled up. It's a little irregular. So I'm going to try to create a little irregular line around, and I'm going to let it poke out a little bit past the edge of the round part. And then I think I'm going to have a small cherry right here. My little shine mark. Okay. You know what? Let's go for a little bit of sauce. There we go. Okay. Most important things first, and things that might get overlapped. So first off, the edge of the glass. We don't want that to get caught up in something else. We want it to be really visible and really clear. Okay. Now attached to that is the overall shape for this part. All right. Now we're going to get the sides of the cup. Other side. Now, I'm going to come and I'm going to get this dome right here. Then I'll get the wider dome. And now I'll get the oval that's providing the foot for the cup. Right here, I'm going to ignore this line because I don't want them to be separate. I want them to have been fused together. But I am going to include that bubble so that you can see where my bubble is. All right, now, obviously the cherry would be on top of the ice cream. So I want to do it before I do the ice cream or the sauce. And this little reflection. All right. I'm going to go down to that ruffled edge. And then I'm going to come across that edge. Okay. Now, I'm going to use a thin Sharpie for the sauce. You could use thick Sharpie if you'd like. But I figured since it's more of a detail, I would include it with thin. Then I'm going to go and show the bevels that we've created with my thin Sharpie as well. All right, guys, check it out. You have a great Sunday. All right, we will see you guys again later. I wonder what flavor of ice cream you're going to make. Bye.